be discussing mental health, happiness, and just the general. It's crazy. Mental health, happiness, and just life in general. On my live stream, I usually like a more quiet vibe. I don't know, like a more gentle, quiet, flowing vibe. Because really, I value mental health, peace, and happiness so much. So I just want a vibe that is quiet. Let me put out a poll for anybody who's interested. See, doesn't seem to be working. A scale of see. Okay, so I put up a poll. So today I just want to talk about mental health, happiness, and just living. So recently I'm on vacation and I made so many plans of things I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. And then I found out that best laid plans are not always uh, your best laid plan are not always what comes to pass. That is why I always wondered if imagination can match up to reality. Because sometimes we make so many plans, talk about so many things we want to do, and then when reality comes, we often find ourselves, we also find out that reality fails to like meet up with our imagination. It's a little disappointing, I guess, but what can we do, right? That's life. That's life. Sometimes when we come to see that our imagination does not match up to the reality we see, we just have to readjust, reset, then start all over again. So some of the things that I found out help me when it comes to like mental health and happiness. Hello, good morning. Well, it's morning for me. Please introduce yourself, or if you just quietly want to listen, that's also okay. You can leave your name so I can give you a shout out. So, some of the tips and tricks that I found help me with my mental health, especially when I get disappointed, is I just tell myself life is like this. Life is not exactly in fair zone. Life is not exactly all peaches, apples, and roses. Life comes with ups and downs, and you just have to ride out the waves the way they come. You just have to take it as you see it, and then make the best of what you've got in life. Just tell myself that. And then I do a lot of self reflection and self meditation. It really helps me a lot because when I self-reflect, I find out that I had a vast period of growth where my mentality, my vibe, everything has grows when I self-reflect. And I love self-reflecting, especially when I've had certain disappointments. Just think a lot, I meditate on it, I reflect. Hi, you're welcome to my channel. If you don't mind, you can leave your name so you can get a shout out. So I self reflect and I think a lot about things, and then I get tips and tricks that gives me happiness. So I guess um I'm a little tired since I've been on vacation with nothing to do and all my expectations were disappointed. So I guess my vacation has been a bit draggy, but I'm okay, I guess. Okay. My deep psychological thought of the day that I had yesterday night. Why does my brain wait until, I don't know, midnight to remember certain things? Like, I put up a short yesterday that was talking about this exact same thing. Like, my brain would choose midnight to suddenly start fixating on a thought, and then I can't sleep. And it's a whole crazy ride of my brain reminding me what I did a while ago that was so embarrassing. And then it won't let me sleep. I'll be thinking of something I did years ago, and then my brain will be reminding me over and over again, fixating on it. And I remember that embarrassing moment, and it's crazy. Why does our brain choose to do that? Am I the only one whose brain fixates? Your brain just keeps going round and round and round and round and round, thinking of something embarrassing that happened a long, long time ago and reminding you of it, and making you feel like the most stupidest person alive for doing something like that. And you wonder, what? And then it prevents you from sleeping. God, our brains are crazy. Hmm. My thought fixation recently, I even developed tips and tricks on how to develop and how to stop my thought fixation. And then I call it the remix and replace. Whenever my thought fixation starts and it starts driving me crazy, and I find my brain driving a merry-go-round in the middle of the night, usually I just try to think of any other thoughts that, how do I say it? There's a way it is. Like when my thought fixation starts and it starts reminding me, driving me crazy, I think of any other thoughts that can replace my thought fixation, and then I make it a similar thought. I don't know if you understand. Like the thought must be similar to the one that is driving me crazy, but instead of it being negative, I make it positive, and then I replace some certain words of my thought fixation with the positive one, and then I remix it, and then I try to replay it instead. Like sometimes my thoughts will go back to the negative thought fixation, but then I'll force it back to the positive um thought fixation that I remix and I choose to keep replaying. And that is how I'll keep replaying that particular thought fixation that is positive until my brain finally settles down or decides to let me rest for the night. And of course, it's not an automatic cure or it doesn't really stop there. The next night again, I find my brain doing the same thing, or whenever I remember, I find my brain doing the same thing, then it's the process all over again. We'll start the remixing and the replacing, and that is how we keep at it until that thought fixation finally stops. And thankfully, my brain moves on to something else, which it always does. Always, always. Okay, okay. A question I have to ask is, if your brain needs a reset, your brain needs to relax, rejuvenate. I have a lot of alarms. Yeah, that's another thing. I cannot wake up naturally for the life of me. I need multiple alarms. Like on my two phones, I have like 3 to 4 alarms, all within 30 minutes of each other. All must ring so I can wake up and try to be a functioning human being. If not, then yeah, Though because of my biological clock and because of the fact that I go to work very early, I can my biological clock is used to waking up early. But if that alarm doesn't ring, it's likely for me to just keep lying down on my bed till something forces me to get up. So that is why I have hi, welcome to my live stream. Please leave a shout out, leave your name so I can give you a shout out. So I have two alarms, and if they don't both ring and force me to get up off the bed, I just keep lying down and just stay there until something forces me to get off the bed. So yeah, I'm one of those people who can't live their life without alarms. So yes, back to the question I was trying to ask. I was trying to ask if your brain needs a reset, a rest, a reset, what do you do? For me, one thing I found I do for my brain when it needs quiet time to reset is I read with snacks. I just lie in bed and read with snacks. It helps so much. I spend my time reading, meditating, just thinking about every single word of wisdom I come across. And then I take snacks, I drink water, and then just gives my brain time to just reset, relax, and be happy again. I think I'll cut this life as it's becoming a bit noisy and I have something to do. I have to go to the hospital today, so I think I'll be cutting this short here. Goodbye. See you next time.